So good afternoon, everyone. I am the last reporter of my group, and today I will be discussing the different approaches, methods, and strategies in teaching technical writing. Well, in technical writing, there are different technical writing assignments, and one of those is the sales letter. Well, sales letter is simply writing a letter to promote your product or your service. For example, you can write a letter selling a product such as VSR, CD player, computer, printer, car, motorcycle, roller blades, a tennis racket, golf clubs, vintage records, jewelry, and etc. Well, you can also promote your services when you have such as car detailing, lawn mowing, babysitting, dog walking, house painting, deck building, basement refinishing, computer installation, computer repair, tennis or golf lessons, and this also includes tutorials such as math, languages, and sciences. All right. In sales letter, you can also write the letters when you are going to detail the unique aspect of a foreign countries studied in class. We also have the industrial technology. You are going to promote something in the industrial technology. You can write a sales letter about class projects, including car maintenance, welding, and others. You can also write something if you want to promote the art. You can write a letter focusing on the unique traits of class projects, including ceramics, jewelry, painting, mixed media, and etc. And we can also done this in the field of literature, family and consumer science, and others. Okay, I don't have to discuss it really because I found out that it's just telling us what to do and in what particular event we are going to write a sales letter. We also have the seals of inquiry. Well, you can write a letter of inquiry to a company about its products, services, warranties, guarantees, cost, maintenance, and etc. The difference between a sales letter and letter of inquiry, the letter of inquiry simply focusing on asking something, clarifying something from a certain company or from a certain service provider. When you can also write a letter of inquiry to a company about job openings, job requirements, hiring trends, salary ranges, and etc. Well, this is very important when you're looking at job because most of us are been waiting for a posting kung meron bang vacancy, but this is actually something that help because this might be telling us or this might be something that could give impression to the employer that this one really wanted to have work because he or she really wrote a letter for us. Ganon. You can also write a letter of inquiry to a community college, VOTEC school, college, or university about its degree requirements, programs, tuition, housing fees, and extracurricular activities. Now, this is something very timely and very seasonal because in our time now, we Filipinos are not really doing this because we really unsa ba kanang kita jud ang naga-add to personally if we have some queries or we have some questions, but this is very actually evident sa mga Eastern countries. Pero this time, I guess it's time to elevate our way of asking. Instead of going directly to the place, we can write a letter through uh, to answer or to address our inquiry. Another one, same thing that happens. We also have foreign languages, industrial technology, art, government, elementary. So, uh, you can write a letter of inquiry to a travel agency for information about the country, to a country's local ambassador, or to the country's ambassador at the United Nations, and etc. So if you wanted to go somewhere and you wanted to know a little bit of the background of that certain country that you wanted to go to, you can write a letter to ask the certain questions that you wanted to be answered. Also, we have the industrial technology. You can write a letter of inquiry to a company about its CAD or CAM equipment, welding equipment, woodworking equipment, automotive equipment, and etc. And sa art, you can also write a letter of inquiry to an art supply company about its clay, precious and semi-precious stones, their paint, and mixed media or etc. So everything that you wanted to know, you can actually write a letter of inquiry to address your questions. In the government, you can write a letter of inquiry to a city, county, or a state elected official asking questions about governmental procedures. So this is something that we have to do if we want to know what is happening, especially in our COVID time. Many are accusing the government that this is just a play, that this is just a game, that there is no really COVID. Now, the people in the government are just using this uh, event in our life so that they can earn money daw. Kasi yun yung mga sinasabi ng mga tao, yun yung mga rant nila sa Facebook. And I don't know if you, but I have received many chain messages telling me na the government has been playing to the people of the state. Parang ganon. But of course, ako mismo alam kong hindi because I know how does the government work. Sana ganito yung magiging mindset nating mga Filipino that if we wanted to, raise questions because we wanted to know something about how does the government run the state, I hope, personally hope that we will be having this kind of attitude. If not now, I hope in the future that if we have heard something about the government, about everything that you heard, you can actually write a letter. Next, we have our memos. Okay, you can write an explanatory memo to your boss, teacher, parent, friend, etc., explaining the causes for your absence, tiredness, inability to do work, inability to meet deadlines, failure to return a borrowed item, and etc. Then explain the effects of these actions. You can write explanatory memo. That's one. Number two, we have this what we call evaluative memo. Write an evaluative memo to your boss, teacher, parent, friend, etc., comparing and contrasting a topic such as two movies, two CDs, two novels, which to see or purchase or read, two cars, trucks, bikes, rollerblades, two restaurants, two college, or two jobs. Alright? So, naanda na itong mga Pinoy na we can hear the word memo. It is created by someone higher or superior to us. Na ay memo gipagawas, labi na katong nasa government. Hala, na ay memo ba yan, anak? Mamimuhan ka. So, parang yung memo, ang pagkakaintindi natin is only intended, ang pwede lang gumawa nun is those who are higher in our position or superior to us, and memos are only intended for those who are in the lower position. Pero hindi. You can write memorandum or memos like this. We have the explanatory memo, simply explaining why you have missed your work the last day, why you have your absences, why you are coming to work late, and why you becomes incapable of doing something or being productive to your workplace. All right. So evaluative memo, explanatory memo simply explains everything. But when you say evaluative memo, it compares two things. No, it's simply explaining the comparison, the differences, or the similarities of a certain thing. We also have an argument or persuasion memo. You can write that to your teacher, boss, parent, friend, explaining why he or she should allow students to rewrite essays for a new grade or extend due dates, implement a new work schedule, pay scale or method of promoting employees, allow a later curfew, or allow you and friends to go to Padre Island for spring break, seek a career option, or attend a specific college. So memo does not only refers to work or whatever, but again, number one, I have already mentioned kanina, we have this what we call explanatory memo. We also have evaluative memo, and now we have this argument or persuasion memo. The task, of course, or the purpose, of course, of argument or persuasion memo is simply to persuade someone to believe on your stand. All right. So we also have a problem solution memo. You can write it to your teacher, boss, parent, friend, etc., documenting a problem and suggesting a solutions. Okay? And, hindi puro reklamo. I mean, we are always capable of having solutions or making solutions on an existing problem. Pero nasanay na tanga mo, rant lang, masuko, or whatever. So this time, we have to know that aside from ranting on a social media platform, we can do better. I mean, we can do this problem solution memorandum. We also has business and computer technology. You can write a cause effect memo from Steve Jobs to Bill Gates explaining why Apple should join ranks with Microsoft or vice versa. Again, guys, I would not be explaining this too much because the presentation itself is self-explanatory. And I believe I don't have to read everything. Okay, but if you wanted to have a copy of this PPT, just message me on my account, or you can message me through my Facebook account. You can message me privately so that I can send you the link of this PPT, or else I'll be sending this one to you in our group chat. So I will not be reading everything kasi paulit-ulit lang naman, okay? Basta what it means, memos are simply writing something when you want to explain, that explanatory memo. When you want to persuade, that's persuasion or argument memo. If you want to compare two things, to contrast two things, that's what do we call this, that's evaluative memo. All right, so we also have the other one, the last one that I'm telling you, the problem and solution memo. Okay, you can write those four different memos either in physical education, health, social studies, literature, art, science and technology, elementary. So again, I will not be reading everything because the thought is repeatedly happening. All right, the thought is repeating. So that is why I'm not going to explain everything else here. Okay, next to memos, we have email. Okay, email your teachers, bosses, parents, friend to argue a point, compare and contrast two topics, or solve a problem, and etc. You can also email your fellow students with pair evaluations about their creative or expository writing about their artistic achievements, about math or science, tutoring, or etc. Hindi kasi natin to pinauso, or hindi natin ginagamit, no? Siguro because naturally, Filipinos love to, siguro nasanay tayo sa Facebook, Messenger, pero if we want to make it a little bit formal, or we want to make it formal, mag-email. Kasi si email, pwede natin ma-attach kahit na ano. Pwede rin naman sa group chat, pero it's not that the group chat is too limited. May limitation siya, unlike sa email. Alright, you can have this email during your business and computer technology. You can write an email explaining the steps for performing a computer operation, such as opening a file, saving a file, downloading graphics, copying and pasting, etc. Or write an email explaining computer ethics. Okay? In industrial technology, you can write an email providing instructions for editing a video production, producing an animated cartoon, or constructing circuit boards, or building a bridge. Okay, for family and consumer science, you can write an email explaining the key concepts of parenting skills. Okay? Again, this is very, very much needed, and this is very much seasonal, very much timely, and we have to start embracing this kind of life because this is what we call the new normal. Everything is done virtually. Now, if you wanted to know about family and consumer science or the basic concepts of parenting skills, instead of going personally in a seminar, you can have it through email. Okay, for marketing and management, you can write an email explaining key concepts of personal finance or how to become a successful entrepreneur. Okay, You can also, for English, write an email from one character in a novel, play, or short story to another character. The topic will depend on the story's context, or you could write an email from one character in a story to another character in a totally different story. From Romeo to Hamlet, from Huckleberry Finn to Holden Caulfield, for example. These email messages could focus on the character's respective era or personal challenges with family members and etc. Okay. Other than this, you can also, if you are doing tutorials, no, you can email. Ang problema lang, kabalo ba pod mo gamit ang mga estudyante, labi nag nasa elementary. But I guess for high school students, it's time for us to elevate the integration of ICT in the field of education. Hindi to ganito talaga ka-embraced before, pero I guess because of the pandemic, blessing in disguise na rin na we are trying to elevate a little bit more of the standards, the quality of the integration of ICT to the academy. All right. Reports. Now, for industrial technology, you can recommend report about improving safety in the classroom or a progress report about your project. Clockmaking, race car construction, and welding or automotive work. Okay, that's for report. You can write, for English, you can write a progress report in your work this semester where you have succeeded, where you can improve. Okay. Report is simply as you are writing something, what you have done better, what are those things that you think you need to improve, and which part of you as a student do you think you have improved the most. So parang in short, parang nagda-diary ka lang. Okay? Pero at least you are doing that in a form of proper technicalities. All right, next to reports, you can also write a recommendation report to the school principal or school district proposing the following. Okay, recommendation report. Okay, a new expanded parking lot, a new swimming pool, a new competitive sports, a new art courses in jewelry, a new computer lab, a new school television or radio station, an improved tennis courts, a better cafeteria options, on-campus daycare centers, earlier dismissal for college new courses. All right. For science, you can write a laboratory report about one of your projects, including the purpose of the project, equipment used, activities accomplished, and lessons learned. Okay, that somehow that this can be used for as future reference for those lower years from you, 'di ba? These reports. Okay, social studies. You can write a status report and or recommendation report about stocks and bonds you purchase. How are you doing? Should you sell or should you buy? All right. For art, you can write a trip report about a museum visit. Okay, so these are all technical writings. Okay, everything that you experience in your daily life, you can put it into write-ups. And this is technical writings. All right. Okay, next is the job search or resumes cover letters. Write your resume and cover letter or direct the letter to an actual job listing found in your city's newspaper, your school's job placement center or counseling center. Okay, you can write actually your this resumes or cover letters. Okay, if you are looking for work. Then next is the foreign languages. Write a resume and a cover letter about an author or about a literary figure. Okay, this simply means that you are going to know the author better. You have to write a cover letter about that certain author. Business and computer technology. Write a resume and cover letter for Stephen Jobs or Bill Gates. Ayan. Literature, you can write a resume and cover letter about an author or a literary character. And for social studies, you can write a resume and cover letter for George Washington, Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther, or Sigmund Freud. Okay, write a resume and cover letter for Pablo Picasso, Andy Warhol, or Andre Wyeth. Okay, another term I guess for resume is CV, curriculum vitae. Okay? Okay, you can also write instructions. Someone else how to do something. Have your students write any of the following instructions geared toward another student. Okay, let your student to write something. This is to find out if they are able to instruct well. Are they capable of making instructions or somewhat related to making instructions? For industrial technology, allow your students to write safety instructions or instructions for building any project. For business and computer technology, write an instructions for any computer operation, printing, saving a file, opening a file, creating a folder, making a computer-generated presentation, or etc. Okay, write instructions for revising an essay. For revising an essay, that's for English. Okay, for art, you can write instructions for creating a sculpture. Paano nga ba? How to start? What are the materials needed? Okay, a piece of jewelry, a photograph, a ceramic pot, and etc. For science, you can write an instruction for performing any laboratory. For mathematics, write an instruction for performing any geometric or algebraic or trigonometric equation or project. Alright, so on and so forth. Okay, web pages and PowerPoint presentations. Every topic imaginable can be turned into a web or PowerPoint presentation. And it's good to have your students use these computer applications. After all, according to business and industry representatives, a primary skill our students need to succeed on the job is computer technology. And as I have said, we here in the uh, Philippine educational system natin, hindi ganun ka-integrated si ICT. Siguro there are schools who are now advanced when it comes to ICT integrations, but it is undeniably evident that there are also schools who are not really into integrating the ICT, maybe because of the resources, maybe because of the internet connections, maybe because of uh, the location of the school. But of course, again, as I have said, this pandemic is also a blessing in disguise because Filipino students and the Filipino academic system has also elevated into integrating uh, ICT because this is the only thing that we can do to continue the system of education even amidst of this, pandemic. Okay. Okay, for history, create web pages or PowerPoint presentations about any historical moment. Okay? I know na ang hirap i-relate kasi parang US-based tong book na to. Okay, for foreign languages, create web pages or PowerPoint presentations about foreign countries and their culture. Okay. Baka. Next. Brochures and newsletters. In Chapter 3, it was suggested that students do a research brochure or a newsletter instead of a research paper. Consider these possibilities. When you write a brochure or newsletter, write about a vacation spot, national or local park, wildlife reserve, city, country. About a school organization, or about a city organization, agency, or company, about your city's Hispanic culture and or business owners, Native American culture and or business owners, unique ethnic background, frontier history, railroading, agriculture, ranching, or cattle industry. Okay, but it's all about brochures. Okay. Flyers. Flyers are written primarily to promote, sell, or advertise a product, service, or event. Thus, your classes could create flyers about many topics. This includes machines, food or clothing, an art object, a local, a scientific or historical invention, a play performance or recital, and etc. The list is endless. Okay, what's the difference between brochures and flyers? Si flyers lang kasi medyo mas maliit, mas konti yung sinasabi within a paper. Si flyers handy. Okay? Okay. But they are both promoting something. Okay, group assignments are instructional modules. An excellent way to have students write more technical documents is to create technical writing modules. Group assignments with a central focus. Okay, variations for modular groupings. Modular groupings let students role play, write different types of documentation, and write for different purposes. 6 group documents may be more than you would like to assign. If so, assign fewer. Okay, this is module making Okay, but this is not really necessary that it's purely academic. Okay, because we can also integrate business, we can also integrate tourism. Okay, the point is this is one of the forms or assignments for technical writing. Job packages. Job packages are an excellent way to group assignments. Okay. The students could write a letter of inquiry to a local company asking for information about job openings, salary ranges, job requirements. We have discussed this earlier. Upon receiving answers from the company's human resources staff, the students could present this information to the class or teacher by the way of report, memo, email, or PowerPoint presentation. So the student can actually choose which one he will use to do the reporting. After he received a response from a company where he is or where he was applying to. Then students could write a follow-up thank you letter or email. Or students could write a resume and a cover letter or email for a job of their choice within that company. Finally, students could perform mock interviews based on these resumes and cover letters. These six assignments could be reduced to two or three. Okay, it depends on you. All right. So again, if you can see, I have not explained it too much because the presentation itself is self-explanatory. And if you can see, I know you have noticed na medyo gilaktawan na nako ang uban kay balik-balik ra gyud siya ang thought. Oo, nagbalik-balik lang ang thought. That's why I'm not reading everything that is written on the PowerPoint. But as I have promised, I will be sending the link, a copy of this PPT on our group chat. But if you find some problems na usahay dili gid siya ma-open sa group chat, just don't hesitate to PM me so that I can directly send it to your personal account. All right, so thank you so much for listening. Daghang salamat sa pagpaminaw. I hope that everyone has been learning something from this. Thank you and God bless everyone.